Let's start by giving our praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, and the Holy Spirit, who taught us his truth. Honors to the brethren, doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which will be 1/3 of all Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians who make up the children of Israel, and 1/3 of those people who will receive salvation by returning back to the Most High right now before judgment. So we back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. This lesson is going to be titled, He That Escape Shall Not Be Delivered. And this is part 3. And in this one, we're going to be talking about underwater bunkers, doomsday submarines. And this is continuing in the topic of the wicked elites, the very rich, the top scientists, engineers, builders, doctors, military personnel who are going to escape the nuclear destruction. And I showed this on part 2 that this is Mount Everest. This is the height at which airplanes fly. This is the mushroom clouds of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the nuclear from Japan. And this is what they came up with over time. But this is 30 to 40 years, maybe 50 years outdated. So the nuclear bombs they got now will be off the charts. So you can't go high enough to escape this. That's why part of them are going to go into outer space. That's why they got space hotels, the Space Force, the International Space Station. Another way would be to go underground. That's why they got underground bunkers. That's why inside of these mountains they got entire cities and communities and bunkers carved into these mountains. Well, the third option is they're going to go underwater. Because again, you can be nowhere on the surface of the earth or really in the atmosphere during the nuclear destruction. So the people are going to try to escape, but they really not escaping. And we're going to explain. So first, we're going to hit the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 15. But it is not possible to escape thine hand. Yeah, it's impossible to escape the Lord's judgment. It's impossible to escape from his wrath. You know, you may think you escape, it's just the Lord saving you for something else. And we're going to get verse 16. For the ungodly that denied to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm, with strange rains, hails, and showers. So again, strange rains, strange showers, were they persecuted, that they could not avoid, and through the fire were they consumed. So what's these strange rains and strange showers in this lifetime? This is the nuclear destruction. The Lord is going to rain, is going to shower America and other places with nuclear missiles. That's why it's called strange rains, strange showers. It's a rain and shower that brings a consuming fire. And it says what? That they could not avoid. Yeah, because if you on the earth, for the most part, you're not going to avoid the nuclear destruction. You got to either go underneath the earth, underground, or above the earth in outer space, or underwater. And we're going to cover the underwater part of it today. So first we're going to get Amos 9:1. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the post may shake. So the Lord is standing on this altar for judgment, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will slay the last one of them with the sword. So the Lord going to slay every last one of you that's not part of the elect. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away. You can run, but you can't hide. You know, you can run, but you're going to get nowhere real fast. and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. And that's the title. He that escape shall not be delivered. Now let's get this word delivered in the Blue Letter Bible. I'm not going to play the whole thing through because this is our third time getting it. But when we look in Hebrew, H4422, where I kind of highlighted it at, you can see H4422 at the top. But to be delivered, when you look at this word in Hebrew, it means to slip away, to escape, to save. We see down here to save life. So people are going to escape the nuclear destruction, but that don't mean they slipped away from the Lord's judgment. Because remember, Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 15, but it is not possible to escape thine hand. So you can't slip away from the hand of the Lord. You can't escape judgment. You will not deliver. You will not save yourself, because that's what the very rich are doing right now. That's why they selling their stocks and bonds, their property. They quitting their jobs. They getting ready to go A, underground bunkers, B, these space hotels, these space bunkers, or they about to go in these underwater bunkers. All right, so now let's continue. Though they dig into hell. What's hell? That's the ground. They digging in the ground for these underground bunkers. Thence shall my hand take them. That was part one. The men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets that's bringing you this truth, gonna be turned into hunters, given superpowers to snatch them out of the bunkers and what? Take them into slavery. Though they climb up to heaven. This word climbs mean to ascend. How do they ascend? Through their space shuttles, they space rockets. And what? They got the Space Force, International Space Station, space hotels, space bunkers. It says what? Thence will I bring them down. So the Lord in the host of heavens, the host being the armies, being the angels of heaven, they're going to zap these folks, zap them to dust. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, this is the mountain range. So the various mountain ranges across the earth, they got cities and bunkers carved into the mountains. It says what? I will search and take them out thence. That's by the hunters, the men of the Lord. We covered that. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So we gonna show that Esau is actually prepping to hide out in the bottom of the sea, and most of the world don't even know it. But Esau knows what's coming. So I got a handful of videos we gonna look at real quick. First, to show that Esau is actually trying to hide out underwater, and I call them underwater bunkers. Esau gonna tell you that it's underwater restaurants, underwater hotels. Why are you underwater in the first place? No, it's an underground bunker. They just call it something else to make it sound extravagant, to play on your imagination, to get money out of you. No, this nigga Esau is on the run, and he's about to go hide out underwater. But I got a couple YouTube shorts, and then I got a little video we watch a few minutes of. Really interesting. So check this out. Inside the world's largest underwater restaurant. So what? There's multiple underwater restaurants. This is all practice for when they go hide out. That's practice. These of us about to go into hiding. So check out this next short. Underwater bedroom in the Maldives, whatever this is. But check this out. So Esau is calling it to you a underwater bedroom. No, this is them practicing. They about to go into hiding. Now check this out. We're gonna give maybe a few minutes of this. I'm gonna kind of skip around.
We are going to be spending the next 24 hours living in the world's first and most expensive underwater hotel room. I face her.
Underwater hotel, aka underwater bunker.
I'm smiling so much.
That is where we're sleeping.
This is so cool.
So cool. Care that we're here at all.
Bear with me, Esau got a commercial on every damn thing these days.
Available to those.
God, Esau be tripping, bro. Esau hating, bro. Bruh, come. Hey, they killing me, bro. This is a major distraction. Forgive me, y'all.
Go in the bedroom. Real quick, we want to say a big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video.
What the hell is this, man?
Is like this underwater hotel. In addition to supporting our channel, Surfshark has also been keeping our online identity safe for over 3 years now. If you've never heard of Surfshark, so you've ridden the elevator down, the door's open, and this is your view. Oh, no.
This never gets old. I mean, I'm speechless. It's amazing. Like, they literally could have put a box down here with a mattress in the middle, but it's like they went all out. Absolutely love what they've done with the bed, but I think I need to do a bed test.
The first ever
Underwater bed test. Oh, yes.
One thing that they pointed out while they were showing us around the room, and that now I'm noticing everywhere, is that except for the towels, nothing in here is white. Because white reflects off the glass. So all the walls, the sheets, everything is gray. Which is apparently the best color not to distract from everything else that's going on.
There's a space just purely dedicated to enjoying yourself underwater. You just sit in this chair and stare at the ocean. Sharks. These are harmless reef sharks. They're everywhere. I mean, to my knowledge, nobody is bit by a shark.
Also, maybe one of the most interesting...
Upstairs.
Cannot believe we have an elevator.
Our life is so crazy. Come on, turtles and stingrays.
Cheers.
Cheers.
They think they about to be watching the chaos, toasting it up, doing a nuclear destruction.
Who are we?
I'm assuming this looks as ridiculous as it feels.
What do we do now?
Can you hear all of like the cracking and popping? Like this room sounds alive. So I was just doing a little research about this place, and then
Usually shower in our swimsuits, but
wow,
so cool.
this is amazing.
We're doing it. We're showering underwater.
Best shower you've ever had.
Yeah, no doubt.
The only problem is the shower got too hot.
Just gonna wipe it off. Every once in a while.
Okay, so that's enough of that. But you see, they're making preparations to really be living at the bottom of the sea. All right. So again, Amos 93. You know, they hide themselves in the top of Mount Carmel. I will search them, take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence I will command the serpent, and he shall bite thee. So these underwater hotels and restaurants, they not gonna hold up in the event of the nuclear destruction. But this is our practice and preparation for something bigger. They got underwater bunkers. You're not gonna ever hear about it. They got doomsday submarines. You're not gonna hear about it. Like those who saw the movie, I believe it's 2012. They had a big doomsday submarine like the size of Noah's Ark, where like the very rich, and they took a certain amount of like doctors, builders, engineers, scientists, cooks, people from all walks of life, They took a certain number of them on this Doomsday Submarine arc. That's the movie 2012. They got that in real life. But the Lord says, what? Though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence I will command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Who is this serpent? That's Leviathan. And Leviathan is chilling right now. And something else I wanna get into real quick. Um, let's look at the title of this video. We gonna play some of it. Scientists discover an ocean below the Earth's surface. So there's an ocean underneath the ocean. Now the only reason you would know about this is because you down there at the bottom of the ocean snooping around. What you think they snooping around for? They trying to escape the wrath of the Lord. They really think they can hide out down there. And what else you think they looking for? They looking for Leviathan. They looking for Leviathan, hoping they can catch him while he sleep, or to see if he got some kind of weakness, to get him beforehand. But where you think Leviathan at? I doubt they found him, but I believe Leviathan in this underwater ocean. But we gonna play some of this real quick.
What lies below the Earth's surface? The crust, the mantle filled with hot lava, the deep and bubbling hot core. Yes, all of that is true, but there is also something else there. Scientists have found an ocean under the Earth's surface, a massive one at that. Sounds staggering, right? Let me tell you all about it. The discovery has been made some 700 kilometers deep into the Earth. The ocean lies just above the lower mantle in something called the mantle transition zone. The water is present in a rock known as ringwoodite. And do you know how big this ocean is? About 3 times the volume of all the planet's oceans combined.
Damn.
So if you take all of the Earth's oceans and triple them, that is the amount of water discovered inside the...
That's where Leviathan at. She said if you take all of the oceans that we know of, this underwater ocean is 3 times bigger. I bet that's where Leviathan at.
Earth. Now the question is, how does this water get there? Was it present when our planet was formed, or did it appear due to some process that happened later? Now, according to the findings presented...
Matter of fact, while we here, I'm gonna hit one more video. Damn, that's not what I'm looking for. Well, we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, underwater ocean 3 times the size of all the oceans combined here on the surface. And that's the underwater ocean. So that's probably where the serpent at. Though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence I will command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Now we about to get into Leviathan. So we're gonna go to the book of Job chapter 41. Can thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? Yeah, because Esau drawing out all the other underwater animals with hooks. Dolphins, whales, as big as they are. Sharks, octopuses, squids, fishes. So the Lord said, can you fish out Leviathan? Or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down. That go into the nets and stuff that they trap all of the underwater creatures. This whole chapter is about Leviathan, but the Lord is he's putting a challenge out there. That's why he said, can you draw out Leviathan with a hook? Can thou put a hook into his nose? That's literally the act of fishing. Or bore his jaw through with a thorn. So the Lord's putting out a challenge out there, and Esau dumb enough to try to take the Lord up on that challenge. That's why they snooping around in the Marina Trench, mapping out the ocean floor. That's not for your entertainment. That's not for your education. No, they looking for an escape, and they looking for Leviathan. They want to try to do away with him before he get activated. But now we're going to jump to the 9th verse. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? So this is saying, just the sight of Leviathan, you're going to give up the ghost. You're going to have a heart attack. You're going to die just at the sight of him. Because Leviathan is really Godzilla. And where's Godzilla always coming from? Underneath the bottom of the sea. So that's the idea of Godzilla. That's where they get that from. And you see how terrifying he looks in the movie. Now just imagine something worse than that in real life. You'll drop at the sight of him. All right, so now we're going to get verse 15, and we're going to read these in the NLT as well. All right, his scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. In the NLT, his scales are like rows of shields, tightly sealed together, because he's a serpent. Serpents have scales. But scriptures in the NLT, it says his scales are like shields, tightly closed together. Because when you look at scales on a fish or a snake, the scales are there, they close together, but they relatively loose. You can move them, you can peel them off. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. Yeah, you can pick the scales off a fish, off a snake. You could put your finger between it, meaning that air gets between them scales. But it said the scales of Leviathan, no air can come between them. And when we go down to verse 17, they are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. So meaning the scales are actually all joined together. That's why no air can get between them. And what? And they stick so close together, you can't pick them apart. You can't tear them apart. You can't bend his skin and break the scales. And this is a good read in the NLT. Each scale sticks tight to the next. They interlock, very well put, and cannot be penetrated. Penetrated by what? We're going to get into it. And why is the Lord telling you that the scales of Leviathan can't be penetrated? Because Esau, the dummy of the earth, is dumb enough to take the Lord up on his challenge. They're going to challenge his serpent Leviathan. Esau going to try to penetrate it, and it's going to turn out bad for him. By his nestings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Now, when I look this up in the Blue Letter Bible, you go into the Hebrew word for this word nestings, it goes into a sneeze. All animals yawn, we seen it. All animals, well, I say most animals sneeze. You seen a cat, you seen a dog sneeze. So Leviathan does too. But verse 18, when it sneezes, it flashes light. We're going to get more into that light. His eyes are like the red of dawn. Yeah, because the morning sunrise, red eyes. His eyes glow. And that's what you often see in the movie Godzilla. We're going to get 19 to 20. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Let's read this in the NLT. Lightning leaps from its mouth. Flames of fire flash out. And that's why Godzilla got the atomic blast or atomic breath or something. The energy that he blows out of his mouth, the concentrated fire. Well, same with Leviathan. Where you think they got the concept of Godzilla from? Out of his nostrils go a smoke. You see Godzilla when he breathes real hard, it's steam and smoke gushing out. Same with Leviathan. As out of a seething pot or cauldron. So smoke streams from his nostrils like a boiling pot of water. That's what that is saying. And then we also go jump. Oh, we're going to go down to verse 21 and 22. All right. His breath kindleth coals, and the flame goeth out of his mouth. So he literally breathes out fire, lightning, sparks, and that's what he's going to be blasting Esau with. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. So what? Leviathan takes pleasure and joy in bringing torment, pain, and suffering to others, in particular Esau. So yeah, all sorrow is turned into joy before him. So pain, terrible fear, Leviathan rejoices at that. We're going to get verse 23 as well. The flakes of his flesh, that's talking about the scale, are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. You can't penetrate, you can't move the scales of Leviathan. So now we're going to go a little bit more. We're going to get verses 26 through 29 as we wrap up. The sword of him that slayeth, the sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the harbinger. We gonna get this in the NLT. No sword can stop it. No spear, no dart, no javelin. Because how do you go dolphin and whale hunting? You do that with spears and javelins. Well, you can't go leviathan hunting. You can't get past the scales. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. And when you read it in the NLT, it reads, iron is nothing but straw to that creature, and bronze is like rotten wood. So yeah, iron, metal, it's like straw. That's dried up grass. Something that crumbles in our hand easily. Well, metal, iron crumbles under the power of Leviathan. And why did the Lord put iron in there? What is this iron referring to? That's referring to Esau's military, his tanks, his battleships, his jet fighters, his underwater submarines with missiles attached to them. That's all straw and rotted out pieces of wood to Leviathan. He gonna crush it easily. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Arrows cannot make it flee. Stones shot from a sling are like bits of grass. So what would the arrows be? Just talking about missiles. It ain't no missile that Esau got that's gonna stop Leviathan. And it says sling stones are turned with them into stubble. But in the NOT it reads stone shot from a sling. So this not a literal stone from a slingshot. This is a metaphor for firepower. Weapons that shoot bullets, automatic weapons, 50 caliber machine guns. That's why it was a saying in the South. I know in Louisiana they talk about slinging iron, not slinging stones, but slinging iron. What's that iron? Bullets. Well, it's like sling stone. It's nothing to Leviathan. It's like when somebody cutting grass and the little pieces of grass hitting you, you feel it, but you really don't feel it. That's the case with Leviathan. It's like he getting hit by grass when you shooting at him with your weapons. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Clubs are like blades of grass. See, that's the spirit. And it laughs at the swish of javelins. So when Esau preparing his weapons and loading them up, Leviathan laugh at that stuff. So let's see if we're gonna get anything else here. That's it, man. We're gonna go back to the book of Amos 9 and 3 real quick. And though they hide, we're just gonna get the bottom of it. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence I will command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And the Lord was real modest when they said the serpent shall bite them. No, Leviathan is going to raise hell in them waters. It's going to be straight chaos and fear and terror in them waters. On the surface of the water, underneath the water, your submarines, you're not protected. So there's nowhere Esau can go. Taking us back to the book Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 15. But it is not possible to escape thine hand. It's impossible to get away from the wrath, from the judgments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. You're going to go into the underground bunkers just to come across men like us, Lord willing is us, who going to have superpowers, which in the scripture is referred to as spiritual powers. We're going to snatch you up out them underground bunkers. We're going to break down them doors one way or another. You're going to go into the space bunkers. You're going to be shot down with the lasers from the chariot. You're going to go to the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of the sea, just to get thrashed by Leviathan. And just me talking, I think it's more than one of them. Because when you look at nature, it's not one of anything. Everything comes in pairs, have offspring, etc. The only thing it is one of is one God and one mediator. So, yeah, that's it for this lesson here. Till next time, Shalom.